It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. I'll be your host today. If you want to follow the news articles as we review them today, just go over to Facebook, search for Tech for Senior, and follow along with the news articles. And if you want to send us a news article that you've seen this week, send it to techforseniorinfo@gmail.com, and we'll put it on the list and review it. All right, let's get started with the show. Hopefully that music got everybody awake and roused. I love that music. Welcome. It's Tech for Senior Live. I'm Ron Brown, and I'll be your host today. We do appreciate you being here, and I see we've got a pretty good audience already. So thank you for coming and listening to us today. You're probably wondering, if you're new here, who we are. Well, we're a group of seniors who like to talk about technology. And we actually have a show on Monday called Tech for Senior that I guess we're at 202nd episode now and soon to be season 5. So we've been doing it for 5 years coming up. And we have our Monday show. Our Monday show, of course, is a Zoom meeting. And I already see some people who have logged in onto our Zoom account waiting to see the show. Well, they're going to be waiting in our Zoom account for another week because we won't be there till Monday. This is not broadcast on Zoom. It's broadcast on it's broadcast from StreamYard, and it goes out to our YouTube channel and to our and to Facebook. Now, I'm just going to bring this up here. This is our website, www.techforsenior.com. Not only do we have a link to this show there, but we have a whole video now. I produced a whole video on how to find us. So it's right there on our website. Go on the left-hand side, it goes down, it says, learn how to find Tech for Senior. And it's a whole video on how to find us. It's not that difficult. You just either can come over to our Facebook page, and we're right here, or come to the YouTube channel and we're here. But this explains it to you. So if you're having trouble finding our show, then of course just head over there and it will explain that. But part of it is on our Monday show we actually can see who you are. We can see everybody and have a social chat because it's a Zoom meeting. But this isn't. This is so we only know that you're out there is if you put something in the chat. So we do encourage you to put your name in the chat and say what's happening in your life. If you have any questions, what the weather is, just say hello. We like that. If you just put your name in the chat, that's great. Otherwise, we have no idea who's out there and who's listening. So that's really helpful, and we would certainly appreciate that for you. I'm going to introduce our gang today. It's a gang of experts from lots of different countries. Wow, we're international. Of course, I'm in Canada. I'm on a little island off the coast of west coast of Canada called Vancouver Island, and it's I think it's a foggy day here. It's sort of overcast, and it's been a great week. It's I was telling everybody I had some technological challenges that I overcame this week, so that's great. So things are on a roll, and I'm feeling great and I'm pumped up about the show today. And of course, I want to introduce in a different country, far, far away, in the United States, on the other side. Sometimes I have to holler, Huey, can you hear me? He's, of course, on the east coast of the United States in a very warm place called Bradenton, Florida. Although he always complains that it's not hot enough. Is it hot enough for you yet, Huey?
Well, it's gotten a little bit better today than it started out this morning. I'm in a little peninsula called Florida, and I'm on the
Right.
and I'm
Where?
on the west coast of Florida, just about 3 miles off the Gulf of Mexico. Anyway, it was 45 this morning,
Oh,
but
really?
yes, but it's up to 69 already today. It's only supposed to go to 71 and then down into the 40s again tomorrow tonight, and then it should start getting back into the high 70s later next the rest of the week and over the weekend.
Very, very good. All right. And of course, from our security expert, the man who's been with us since the very start of our show on Monday, he's keeps the bad guys out and the good guys in. He's also a prolific producer of YouTube videos, a very smart man who knows a lot about technology. Mr. Bob Gostisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico, where he often gets snow. But I don't think that's happening right now, is
Not
it?
right now. Temperature right now is at 49 degrees. If it snows
Okay.
now, it'd be a miracle.
Ah, okay. So now, are you sort of finished with snow? Spring's coming. Is that sort of the idea, or what's happening?
Well, yeah, we should be finished with the snow. We're still going to cool off, but not to the point where we should have snow. I had Comcast visiting me yesterday because I was having some problems with my 2.4 internet Wi-Fi, which is what all the smart devices seem to want to use.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 was fine, the 2.4 was not. And it turns out this was about his 15th or 16th call with the same thing. So I got a new modem router combo yesterday.
Oh,
Didn't make it any faster for me, but the technology is there. So if I want to pay more, I could get more. Not going to happen.
but it was a hardware issue, right?
It was, yeah.
Ah,
Apparently, a power outage that we had some time ago did something to the box itself. So I guess they can go blame the electric company for this one.
very interesting. Okay. And of course, from Pine, Arizona, we have our music director. I always say he's the most popular guy on the show because people come, you're not going to believe it. It's a technology show, right? They come and they want to listen to the music. And so Ray's been with us for since the show started almost. And he does our music outro. He's our music director. And of course, he's also a very technically techie guy, and he's also the president of APCUG and the treasurer, and it goes on and on and on. But it's the music. They come to the show to listen to the music. So Ray Baxter from Pine, Arizona, which I guess is cooler now. It's up in the mountains compared to is Arizona is Mesa getting hot again or what?
Right now here in Pine, it's about 50 degrees.
Oh,
I'm sure down in Mesa, it's about anywhere to 15 to 18 degrees warmer. And
right.
But it's still very, very comfortable this time of year. It's June, July, August is, of course, very different.
It's sort of fun because of course, I lived in Mesa, Arizona for 10 years. We had a house in there and down at Silver Ridge, and Ray came down and talked at our computer club. So I've met Ray. I've never met, and I met Bob because Bob came by, but I've never met, after knowing Huey all these years, we talk almost every day, best friends. I've never met him. Yeah. I've never seen him from the top. I've never seen him from the shoulders down.
You may not want to.
There's a lot to see there.
That is
so I thought, well, but I've met Ray and I've met Bob, but no. So it was that sort of interesting. I told you, Ray, that they're actually starting because our computer club dissolved at Silver Ridge Resort, but they're starting it up again, and they've had a couple of meetings, and there's been good attendance.
I'm going to follow up on that because I remember when this was during COVID, of course, that so many people were selling their units there, and that the complexion of the people was changed, where it was now much younger people who actually were working during the day. They weren't retirees or whatnot. So the fact that they're able to restart a computer club is interesting. I'm going to investigate and see if I can find out more about it.
Huey, have we got anyone that's listening to us?
Yes, we, a matter of fact, do.
Ed Weiss from Central New Jersey, 40 degrees. Hi, Ed. Gerald Smith, West Seattle, 49 degrees, partly cloudy. Gerald, did you get your, he's been working on his Pixel book and seeing if you can get a replacement battery. I put Gerald to work on that because I've got a Pixel book and I'm hoping it's going to, Gerald will solve this for me and find someone that'll put a new battery in there. So anyway, he's working on the problem. And Sally Ann from Kirkland, Washington. Hello, Sally. Very rainy weekend. Steve Powell from Kirkland, Washington, 46 degrees. Bernard, Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan, 47 degrees. Steve from Dunedin, Florida. Yes.
He must be back from Las Vegas
Yes, indeed.
with all the money he won.
Jolin says, can't stay and watch as I've got a lunch at 12:30, but we'll watch later this afternoon and catch up on your news. Thanks, Jolin. That's thanks. We do tape these, so record them. So if you can't make it, you can play it back. Dick says, yeah, don't tape them, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's an old guy tape. You know, it's digitally recorded. Dick says 70 degrees, sunny in Sanford, Florida.
And happy birthday to Dick. It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Dick.
Happy birthday.
39.
Yep.
Baxter, Bellevue, Washington, 48 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny with some clouds. How do you get sun? Everyone else there is rainy and foggy. How do you get sun there? What is it with you that's got sun? There's no sun here, and there's no sun anywhere down the West Coast. Mike says, Mike Lehman from Moncton, New Brunswick. Dick Vogel, I clicked like. Yeah, like and subscribe helps us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do the click like, and that's great. Thanks, Dick. Murray Strom from Victoria, BC. It is cloudy in the high 40s. Murray, is foggy. It's really foggy here. I wonder if it's foggy down there, but it's really overcast. Jim Ham, Scottsdale, Arizona, 61 degrees and sunny. Hello, Jim. Liz from Ohio, 45 degrees and drizzly. Diane Binder, good morning. We have sun today, but we had 2 great days of rain. I love rain, especially in Florida, where we always need it. Hi from the
Mystic Ruler.
Hi from Sarasota, Florida. Do we know who that is?
Yes. Yeah, that's Dave.
Dave. Okay. Phil Williams, my old buddy from Mesa, Arizona. Vale and I were the computer support team for the computer club. He was the smart guy. I just did what he told me. He says there is now a ham radio club and station at Silveridge. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. But Vale, did you know I heard they actually had 2 meetings. The computer club is running, and they actually had 2 meetings, and there was about 70 or 80 people. It's in the ballroom, and it's at the same time. So they're resurrecting maybe they'll think about us in the annals of the club or something. Irving, cloudy at Deerfield Beach, Florida, and approaching 70 degrees.
That's it.
And that's it. All right.
I saw Irving on Friday because I did some stuff for the club at Deerfield Beach.
Ah, okay. Very interesting. All right. So let's talk about some news articles before we get into the news that we have on our Facebook page. I wanted to talk about, this was a Kim Commando article that came up. And I said in our article, did you buy something from Amazon today? Now, many of you will say, no, I don't use Amazon. I don't buy anything on Amazon. I don't have Prime and all that sort of stuff. Well, you probably did buy something because you have no idea all the things that Amazon owns, right? Like, now I don't know if do you guys use Goodreads? Have you heard of that?
No, but I have mentioned it in one of my presentations that I do on things for seniors to be able to do.
Goodreads. Okay. Now the other one is IMDb. which is
which is now Freevee, which I watch all the time.
exactly, and then Amazon owns that,
Yep.
and of course, Abe Books, Amazon owns. Woot. I don't buy as much. I used to buy stuff on Woot when I was down in Maine.
I did Woot a lot many years ago.
Yeah.
And then when Amazon bought them, they changed to what they did, how they did it. So I stopped using them.
Yeah.
and then I just saw Meh, which is now taking its place with a deal of the day. So I subscribe to it on start following it on Facebook. So I should see what their deal of the day is going to be. So.
Yeah. And then the other one, of course, is Amazon Web Services, which is really a big factor in a lot of services store their store online with Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Services as well. So whether you may or may not be using Amazon Web Services, whether you know it or not. So I thought it was an interesting issue. Excuse me. Do you guys all use a lot of Amazon services, or what's?
As I mentioned, I use Freevee, which used to be IMDb, and I really like it. They've got a couple of programs. One that I've been watching for a couple of years now, which is Judy Justice, or that's the
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy is her, and it's new, so they're adding new ones every day. And then I started watching a series called Hustle, which is from England, and it's about British con artists, and it's really
good.
It's really good. There's only 6 episodes per season, but there's 8 seasons of it. I'm into season 5, episode 1. So that's all been the last few weeks.
It proves that con artists are worldwide.
Absolutely.
Ray, any comments? You're sort of an Amazon person, aren't you? You buy some.
I do. I have several of the devices now. Here's my thought. Of course, the article lists the many companies that Amazon owns, and I learned a long time ago, though, that in today's world, the level of privacy that we all grew up with is gone, and this is the digital world, and I've accepted that. And just think about what people put on Facebook voluntarily about themselves, much more than Amazon could ever find out through these other services. So, my alternative is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I wouldn't worry about what Amazon owns and what they know. Not important.
All right. Bob, any comments or anything?
Well, better the devil you know than the one you don't, And like Ray said, you're giving it away for free on open chat platforms. I personally don't announce that I'm going on vacation and won't be home for the next 2 weeks on Facebook.
Smart man.
All right, smart man. Okay, now the second one, the article that I wanted to talk about today was Fitbit slashes up to 27% on select smartwatches and fitness trackers. And I thought, is it time to revisit? If you don't own a smartwatch, is it time that you should finally buy one? And I thought, with the sale on with Fitbit, is there? Oh, and there's also one of the articles. When we go through the Facebook pages, there's, I think, an Apple SE Series 8 watch that's on sale for half price. Apple just put it on yesterday, and it's on a screaming deal. So there's some really good deals on smartwatches. So I thought, not going into the specific deals, but I mean, if you're listening and you're out there and you're in our chat, if you could put on, are you thinking about it, or do you have one? I know there's people who say, I'll never have one, but do you have a smartwatch on? Do you wear a watch?
I don't have it on, but I've got one. It's on the charger right now.
Oh, it's on the charger. Which one do you have?
The Galaxy.
Oh, you got the Galaxy.
Samsung.
Right? Yeah. Good. But do you have a Galaxy phone as well? Do you pair it with?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Galaxy. Right.
I have the Galaxy phone, and I got a deal on it that it cost. I got the one step up, so I had to pay $2 and something a month for, I think it's a year or 2 years. That's all I pay is like $2 a month, and I pay $10 to have it have its own phone number.
So I want to ask you, what is the one feature on the watch that you use the most? What is your absolute crazy feature on that watch that you use all the time?
You're going to be surprised, but it's to see what time it is.
Oh, really? To actually look at the time. All right. In my case, it's the timer. The watch has a timer on it, and I'm always timing everything. Whether I'm in the kitchen, I'm doing something, I'm making something, I'm always timing. I use that timer on the watch all the time. Bob, do you wear a smartwatch?
Haven't for some time.
You haven't, okay.
The band was bugging me. So
all right.
I have a couple of them.
Right,
but yep. And when I wore it on a regular basis, the nicest feature on it, I did better with telephone calls on my smartwatch than I did with the phone.
Oh, really?
Yep. The other end always said that I sounded better when I used the watch instead of the phone.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if you're listening in the audience, it would be cool if you let us know what is the one thing, just the one thing that you find on that smartwatch that is just the best thing ever. Ray, now you're a smartwatch. Do you have a smartwatch? I think you do.
Yes, I do. Now, my first smartwatch was a Fitbit, and then this article is about Fitbit.
Right.
Well, $200 and something I paid for it. 2 months out of the warranty, it stopped working. The battery would no longer take a charge. Contacted Fitbit, and the best they could offer me was a $20 discount on one of their newer, more expensive watches. So I am no longer a Fitbit fan, and I've gone the same way Yui has. I think that if you have if your smartphone manufacturer also makes a smartwatch, it makes sense to buy that brand because they're going to work so much closer together, and there's going to be more options that will be available than buying a third party.
Right.
So now I'm a bit embarrassed to say I don't check the health stats as often as I should. I'm here's mine. And
what is the one thing you use what is the one that you could say one thing that you use that all the time for? What would you say it's for?
To tell the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You use it as a watch.
It's called Ron. That's why they call it a watch.
Oh, really? You got to be kidding. Use it as a watch. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
That's two of us.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anyway. All right. Well, that's cool. All right. Now the last article I want to talk about, which is a big one that just happened, is of course Walmart did buy Vizio for $2.3 billion. Right. Now the interesting thing about it was why they bought it. Well, you think, well, they bought it to make televisions, right? No. They bought it for the streaming services that are going to go on the TV for, of course, advertising. That's the whole point of this. And the article goes on to say, should Roku be worried about this? Because of course the idea is that this is going to be providing streaming services through the TV. I mean, if you buy a Vizio TV, it won't have Roku built in. It'll have whatever Walmart streaming service will be there for you, right? That's the goal of this, is going to be for that. So anyway, interesting. Any comments on that, Bob? You talked about that article.
I want to know what happens if I have Walmart Plus and I now have a Vizio TV. How will they interact, and what benefits will I get when I own that Vizio TV because I'm also a Walmart Plus subscriber? That's what I'm looking for. And that might be the deciding factor of what my next TV will be.
That's right. That's exactly right, Bob. That's fitting into the puzzle, isn't it? That's adding another little piece of the puzzle, because their Walmart Plus will, of course, there will be a lot.
Well, I already get streaming services, movies, Paramount Plus, because
that's right.
And that's one of the things why I may not be renewing my Amazon Prime. I have an annual subscription, and I don't think I'm going to renew it when it comes time for the renewal on that one item.
Interesting, eh?
Yep.
Huey, any thoughts?
I find it interesting. Walmart has their own brand of TV called ONN, and it's not very good. And so they've got now their own brand that's better,
Right.
which is the
Vizio.
the Vizio. And Vizios, there are some models of videos that are rated pretty well.
Right.
And some not so
so-
good.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think it's a good move for them.
I do too. I think what Bob is saying though, I think that's going to slide into really their big marketing. The grand picture of all this is part of the Walmart Plus, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Ray, any thoughts?
I'm a creature of habit, so I like TCL TVs as you do, and they all come with Roku, and it's worked fine for me. So there's no need for me to think of anything else right now.
I know. The only problem was when I was at Costco, I told you this last month, they have a 70-inch TCL TV, 70 inches TCL TV. I can't remember Series 4, Series 5. Anyway, it's on for $9.99 Canadian, which would probably make it $700 US, which is like a 70-inch TV. I said, I got to get one of these things, but I have no place in the house to put another TV.
It's the same thing.
Seriously, other than putting it in the garage, I have no place to put that other TV. So I do not know where I would put it. But anyway, it sits there, and they still have 3 left. I was there yesterday, and I thought it went by again, and I was slowly pushing my buggy by, and I keep looking at this. Oh man, it's just crazy.
It's crazy when you consider that, like, my first family's TV when I was a kid was a Dumont, and I think it was 10 or 12 inches.
Yep.
And now we're talking about 70. You can go too far. I
That's
think.
crazy. Huey, any comments before we get going on?
Yeah, there's one general one, and then the rest are all about phones.
Linda says hi from Fort Myers, Florida. Hi, Linda. Low 70s. Dick says, my wife and I have Fitbits. Okay. Vale says, phone on watch much better than lugging cell phone around. All right. Donna says, find my phone. Oh, yes, Donna. That's the second thing other than my timer. You're absolutely correct.
Yes.
As I use it to find my phone, I use that feature all the time, because often the phone's down in my studio and I'm upstairs and where's the phone? It could be in the bedroom. I don't know where it is. So I just hit the find my phone on my watch and it tells me where it is. So you're right. I use that feature all the time as well. Dick says, I use my Fitbit mostly to see the time. All right. Okay. Let's get on here. Let me just get our Facebook page up here and we'll share the screen.
Bob, do I need a refresh?
Not for me. No.
Okay.
We will bring this up here. And I'm just going to do this get this a bit bigger. And
Let me do it anyway.
And I'll refresh it and just bring it up. All right. Coming down, let's see who we got as the first article. Huey, I guess, do you get the first one? How did you manage that?
Yeah.
Have you been sneaking them in on us here?
No, actually, it was an hour or so ago. I'm
All
just
right.
trying to get. Oh, there we go. You might want to try to make it bigger, but on I'm looking at it on mine.
Okay.
FDA warns against using fake blood sugar monitoring smartwatches, or rings, either both. There's a slew of scammy rings and smartwatches that claim to track or control your blood sugar level, but they have not been approved, and for the most part, they're not accurate.
Lots of them available from Temu for 20 or 30 bucks, and they monitor anything and everything you can think of, including your kitchen sink, but none of them are very accurate. And if you do get one from Temu, please don't install their app, because it wants information to everything. I mean, everything. I had bought one of these and I gave the watch away without even trying it because I did not like all the stuff that I had to surrender when I installed the app for it.
But Bob, that's probably the reason that they're selling these watches is not for the watch. It's to get to use the app, right?
That's correct.
Right.
They give it away just to get your information.
Precisely. Oh, yes. Now, this is important for everyone. This is, Huey, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, AT&T confirmed cell service outages. Verizon claims no network issues. However, there's been some reported with all of the services, but AT&T is the one hardest hit by it, and has admitted.
AT&T is actually the only one hit. The problem is when you try to contact a person that uses AT&T, you can't get to them and they can't get your information because their service is out.
Any news as to what caused this?
No, they have
Not
not
yet.
released anything.
What were we talking about on the Monday show? And someone phoned support, and support didn't understand what was the problem was. And the problem was there was a major outage and the system was down. And
Yeah, I had that with my alarm service didn't work.
oh, the senior moment here, eh, Bob?
Yep.
It'll come in a sec, but their services were all down, and the support people didn't even know that. They were in a different part of the world. So, yes, all right, okay. Ray, freeware.
All right. Well, we talked a little bit about this before, and Yui is a user. So this initially cord cutters, I think they were the first one. They announced that Amazon was planning to shut down Freevee with their free ad-supported streaming service, and it's made sense from a point of view that Amazon has introduced advertising to its Prime service. So therefore, why have two competing services that are basically the same? Well, within 2 hours, Amazon issued a denial. And they said, no, Freevee, we're not shutting it down. It's an important streaming offering for both Prime and non-Prime customers. So I guess time will tell what happens with Freevee.
Yes. In other words, they were going to shut it down, but the backlash was too big, so they changed their mind, right?
No,
That's
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just a minute here, and I come over and switch over. Does this? I can't. Ray, this is an
That's Ray as well.
Ray's.
This is an article that starts off by stating, quote, scientists pursuing fusion energy say they have found a way to overcome one of their biggest challenges to date by using artificial intelligence, unquote. So the article then goes on, it's a bit technical about the process, but nuclear fusion has been a concept for many years, and now maybe it sounds like it's getting a little bit closer. So I'm glad to see the effort is continuing. I don't think it'll be a reality in my lifetime, but I think this is the wave of the future, the far future.
All right, cool. Huey, you want to take it down one and see what's going on?
Yeah. Well, this is one I can't even get.
Next one
Windows
is
12
raised.
back to being released this year.
That's
That was
mine.
raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this has been on again, off again with when will Windows 12 be out? And my thinking, just personally, has been doesn't make sense for Windows 12 to come out when Windows 10 is still being supported. I mean, why have 3 operating systems working at the same time? Well, this article says with the advent of AI optimized chips, Windows 12 release is going to happen this year, 2024. It's going to happen because the tech world is experiencing, as they say, a significant leap in processing power to accommodate the burgeoning demands of artificial intelligence. So,
but Ray, that's going to be crazy. They're going to have Windows 10, 11, and 12.
yes.
That is going to be.
Can you imagine when the updates come out?
Oh, it's going to be insane.
The question is this a speculation or is this an actual fact?
Well, it's right
Because
now. Yeah.
It doesn't have a link in this posting. It just has a heading. Windows 12 back to being released this year, but there isn't any link to it.
The link is it should have showed up. It's gadgetinsiders.com. That's where this article came from.
there's enough in the news because there's actually a few articles about this, Ray. So there's enough stuff in the news happening that there must be some substance to something of the story because you see a lot of these articles out now.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay, Ron, this is yours.
Yes. Should Roku be worried about Walmart buying Vizio? I thought that's an interesting article, and of course that's the question would be is of course I doubt very much whether Roku will be part of the Vizio TV, and so it'll be certainly Walmart's, which is exactly what Bob said. So I don't know the answer to that. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. It's coming down here. I'll switch over. Now the other one was this was an article, and I thought the reason I put this article up was Americans spend almost $1,000 a year on streaming subscriptions. Was that we were actually talking about this earlier on before the show started? Is all the different subscriptions that we have for streaming, and you really need to keep on top of them because you need to unsubscribe if you're not using them. Otherwise, these just add up and add up and add up, and you just keep paying that $9.95 a month. And somehow, I think once a month, you should really review it and say, are you watching this service? I know that I talked to Gail last week. I said, are you watching BritBox? We pay because it's a good service, and she watches a lot of videos. Oh, she says, I haven't watched any videos from that for 6 months now. Well, I've been paying on it every month. Do we let me know we don't need to subscribe for this. So it is sort of an insidious thing that goes along. Do you guys keep track of? Do you guys keep check on this, or are you worried about it?
Ron, this would be a little bit misleading because it should be $1,000 a year on not just streaming, but the additional services beyond your main streaming service. Because YouTube TV alone, that's $1,000.
Right.
It's the add-ons that add up that people don't pay attention to.
Right.
Yeah, the $3.99s, the $5.99s,
Yeah.
the $7.99s a month that you get maybe 3 or 4 months for free, and then they start charging you automatically.
Correct.
Right. And the other problem is on the credit card statement, when it comes along, it's really hard to figure out what it actually is for. You understand it's a streaming service, but it doesn't tell you exactly what it is. And it's very confusing. And I think they do this intentionally just to make it confusing. Yeah. So anyway, keep an eye on that. And it would be important to do that. Now, this was an interesting one, and I don't know. You guys are more up on this than I am, but Gemini is rolling out. Of course, Gemini's AI, Google's AI, is rolling out.
One.
Did I see
one? Yep.
Oh, I can't see it. Hugh, have you got it there?
Yep.
Google to start manufacturing Pixel smartphones in India by next
Oh,
quarter.
right. Yeah. So just this was an article that just came out this morning, and this was on, the shift from India really is going to be the powerhouse of tech production. And this is, and Google is moving their Pixel phones from being produced in, of course, China to India.
Will that mean an increase in the price?
Hard to know, but it'll be. But it is interesting how the manufacturing of electronics now. There is a huge shift from China to India. India is really the going to be the global leader in tech production. It's quite interesting. Anyway, we'll see. There's another article coming up about how many phones Pixel sold in 2023, which is I'm always interested in this, and when we get to that article, I'll talk about it. So anyway, can you guys explain? So I don't quite understand this. Gemini is rolling out to Gmail, Docs, and more with Google One AI Premium. Do you guys get this? Like, can you explain what this is all about? It sounds interesting.
The AI can interact with those programs, with Gmail, with Docs, with lots of things. Everything to do with Google products. You can now have an AI interaction
They also have a premium version that
Yeah.
is like Chat GPT is $20 a month.
Right, which is Gemini.
Which is so? Do
The
you
Pro,
guys?
Gemini Pro.
Yeah.
So do you guys? Are you? Is anyone you? If is anyone?
Yeah, I'm using it.
Are you?
Yep.
So what is it?
However, the part that produces the images on the Google one is way, way down from what you can get if you are using Copilot. Copilot's image production, when you ask it to produce an image that depicts certain things, is far superior to what you get when you ask that same thing of Gemini.
And Copilot, of course, is Microsoft's.
Yes.
Right. Interesting.
But in some things, Gemini, I like the answers more than I do the one I get from Copilot.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I've
Bob-
been a lot of times I've been going and asking 2 or 3 different services,
Yep.
and then picking out what one seems to be the best.
I actually take some from one and some from the other and make it a joint venture because that's how it works out best.
Okay. No, yeah, this is an interesting article. Google report. So I'm always interested in this. So this is really cool. Google reportedly shipped a milestone of 10 million Pixel phones in 2023, right? So why I'm interested in this is because, of course, Samsung produced 175 million phones last year. And of course, and you have the iPhone did about 180 million phones, right? And Pixel actually has done well with the Pixel 8, or I guess the Pixel line last year, and they actually got up to 10 million, which now remember, Pixel is Google. Google does not even have a mobile division. It's basically Rick Osteroff is part of the devices and services part of Google. They don't even have a mobile division, right? So it is a tiny part of Google's big business, whereas of course with Samsung and iPhone, that is a major part of their business. So it's interesting, the different part of that. And if you go back and look at the Pixel 5, remember, you guys, like Bob and I own Pixel 3s, and we got into the Pixel thing early, and I think I have a Pixel 6. What do you have now? Do you have a Pixel 8, Bob? What?
I have a Pixel 5 and 6.
You have Pixel 5. The Pixel 5 was an interesting one. In fact, the Pixel 5 sold I think worldwide they sold 5 million of the Pixel 5. And it was the volume of sales was so low that there was a big article came out that Verizon was going to drop the Pixel line completely from their stores. Now that all went away quickly, and I suspect Google wrote a big check to Verizon and they changed their mind. But the point is, we talk a lot about Pixel phones, but really there's not worldwide. Motorola in the United States sold 40 million phones last year, and so we're talking about a very small number of phones, right, compared to the big guys. And you have to put it all in perspective, because we tend to talk about a lot of Pixel stuff, but it really is a very small part of the big global picture. I think it's just very interesting. Don't you guys think that?
Well, you're more interested in pixels than I am.
Yeah. Well, we talk a lot about it, right?
Yeah.
So it is interesting. All right. Let me go over here because I can't see that one. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, this was an interesting article on Samsung's Ring. They are definitely bringing this out. It's going to be some interesting stuff. I think that the article really was a nothing article. It was all about speculation, but it probably will be more tied into home automation that you can run off the Ring, as well as also Samsung Pay. So imagine paying with your Ring, eh? going to Costco and tapping the thing with your Ring. That's sort of cool, eh? So anyway, but it will be coming out this fall, and that will be which will be a big one. Now the next one is an interesting one, and it's the new. Have you guys seen this? The new Google sign-in page. Now the reason I wanted to bring this up was when I go to sign into an account and all of a sudden if the sign in page changes, I wonder, whoa, am I getting spammed here or what's happening? So I just want to let everybody know that the new Google sign in page apparently is rolling out. Have you guys seen this? Do you
I haven't had to sign in
yeah. So
because it
anyway,
happens automatically.
well, I thought, look, we better let everyone know. I mean, so if you're out there, if you've seen this, put it in the chat. Like if you've seen the new sign in page, but there will be when you sign into your Google account, it's going to look different. Now that always is scary. I mean, I'm scared with that. Like when I sign in, it looks different. But just let everybody know that it is changing.
One thing I like about my new iPhone or my iPad, it has the fingerprint built into the home button.
Right.
And when I go to a website that wants me to sign in, all of a sudden it wants me to put the password in, and I don't see the keyboard doesn't come up, and I can't figure that. And then I look down, and it's saying at the bottom, put your finger on for your fingerprint. I do that, and it says, okay, we know it's you, and then it signs me in, so I don't even have to worry about the password.
Yep. This was an interesting one. This was the one that I mentioned earlier. The LTE enabled Apple Watch Series 8 is nearly half off now. They've got a big sale on now. This is a great watch if you are interested in an Apple Watch. That's certainly you should have a look at that big sale on.
Yeah, and it's an Apple Watch where you don't have to carry the phone because it has LTE enabled, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Ron, there's a few comments I think we ought to cover here.
Yep. Let's do those. Let's do those now.
Okay. I'm not familiar with this fellow. So is he new?
I can't see where the comments. Did you bring them up?
I just did. Yep.
Why can't I see them?
Well, I don't see them either. I see them on the side panel, but not in the. There it is. Now I see it.
Okay.
Okay. Now
I'll put it back in.
Paul says Copilot equals Chat GPT 4.
Correct.
Yes. So if you're using Copilot, you can be using Chat GPT 4, so you don't have to pay the $20.
Copilot Pro is the Chat GPT 4.
Right.
Okay.
That's what you're actually paying for.
By the way, hold on. Before we go, let's go back to Paul. Paul, I'm sorry if I haven't. I want to recognize you if you're new to the show. I don't know that. I don't know that. Have you guys know Paul? Have you seen him before?
I don't recognize the name.
Not sure.
If you've been on the show before, we apologize for not remembering your name. If you are your first time viewer today, we want to give you a big round of applause and thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for commenting and thank you for being a part of the show. We hope you enjoy it and we'll come back. Mike Hungerman. Yes, Mike is our EV car buddy. He does a series on our show on EV cars. I prefer my Pixel 8 phone over the other large manufacturers. Not that I'm a fan of Google, but an unlocked Pixel as OS is pure Android with no junk apps from the provider or manufacturer. Correct.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
And it is that is one of the reasons to buy a Pixel phone. Murray says, yes, I am using. Oh, Murray's using the new sign-in. A bit of a pain because I must use the iPhone to complete the login. Okay. Mike says, and the Pixel 2 watch pairs up nicely. Yes, the Pixel again. What Ray said was trying to match the watch with the phone, which is a very, very good idea. Is that did we get them all?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for commenting, everyone. I think we went over that. We saw that, and let's go down one. Is this was this mine? Yep. Oh, I know. I was going to ask you, what is with this? This has been on the internet all week and drying your iPhone in rice. Now, do you guys know about this? Like, what is with the don't dry your iPhone in rice? I can't figure out, why would you ever want to dry your iPhone in rice?
Well, years ago, that was considered the solution, that if you dropped your phone in water, this is long before we had the waterproof phones of today, that if you dropped it and it started, if you put it in rice, the rice would absorb the moisture in the water and it would save the phone. So this is like a 15-year-old suggestion about using rice, which would not be applicable today because we all have waterproof phones.
Okay. Anyway, that's the for whatever reason, Apple says don't try your iPhone in rice, and I thought, well, okay. Well, I wanted to find out about that. I couldn't figure that one out. Now this was oh yeah, this is interesting article. Well, it just keeps getting more secure. Apple is set to make iMessage the stronger and safer messaging app. Here's how, and it sort of goes on to explain that. But this is it's just yeah, it's even
And there's a lot of difficulty in somebody with an iPhone trying to message somebody. It has an Android phone.
right.
They don't speak the same language.
And when Tim Cook always gets questioned about it, he just smiles and said everyone should use an iPhone.
Mhm.
So, all right. And another one. Gemini. Gemini pauses. So Bob, what about this one? Google pauses.
It's very simple. When you start mixing facts with political correctness, this is what happens. Okay, facts should be facts, and political correctness has no business. And this is what they were trying to do: appease, to be right with political correctness. And then the generation of pictures totally came out wrong.
Okay.
You had black people made white and white people made black, and then they try to recorrect themselves, and they finally just took it down altogether. I don't know if the problem's been solved.
All right.
Yeah, it's like the play Hamilton.
Yeah, and then part of the problem too is you get people who want to create images out of partial input, and well, then AI comes in and tries to interpret what you're trying to, and it never turns out right. I still say that if you're using Copilot, you'll get a better picture when you give it text than you will get right now with using Gemini.
All right. I think Huey, this is off your site. You probably talked about this at your WinSig. This is you probably should be up on this one.
The Windows 11 will soon support USB 4 version 2, the confusingly named standard that promises incredible transfer speeds. There are some new defaults in USB and new things that they have, and everything is down. So if you don't have the latest equipment, you're still going to be able to use it. But they're not naming them to make it easy for us.
Windows 11. Now, Bob had sort of an issue with this. This was off your WinSig. Windows 11 will soon no longer boot on PCs that are too old to boot it anyway.
And they've already said that's not going to happen.
Oh, is that right? So that's not true? Didn't
That's
you have
why
a problem, Bob? Didn't you have a problem with one of your machines?
No, it was me, Huey, and I was given a Dell 2018 Windows 11 machine, and it's at 22H2, and I can't update it. It's saying the 23H2 is not available for it, and I'm afraid to force it, thinking that this might happen to me, that I might not be able to boot from it. So I've been kind of hesitant in forcing it.
All right. The other one is now, you talked about Microsoft's new OneDrive design starts rolling out for customers. Have you seen that? I mean, is anyone out there watching this? Have they seen the new OneDrive design? Because it's all going to change. Have you guys seen this?
I've not seen the new design yet.
The new design.
No, I haven't either. No.
If you're out there and you're listening, if you have used the new OneDrive design, let us know if you like it, what you think about it, and because it looks actually a better interface. I'm going to have to try it and see. I haven't even looked to see if I've got it yet. So, all right, and AT&T outages. We talked about that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I put this up early this morning, and made people aware of the fact that if you have cell phone, if you depend strictly on cell phone, you're out of luck. But if you have Wi-Fi available, just simply swap your servers over to Wi-Fi, and you'll still be able to use your cell phone.
Right.
Yeah, using the phone using Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
The other one is, now this was Huey posted this, but again, just to let everyone know, there is no smartwatch that is being approved by the FDA to measure blood sugar. It does not exist, period. So it does not, that doesn't matter what you think, there is no smartwatch that's being approved. We talked about the sign.
Done that. Yeah.
We talked about that. Bob, Sam's Club, more spam not caught by Gmail.
Yep. This is another one that came to my inbox that should have gone to the spam folder. And I point out what the problems are with it and what you should be looking out for, so you don't wind up responding to these emails, because that is the Sam's Club logo. So, it looks legit, but it's not. Be careful. And I point out the little variances that exist in this.
Yeah, it's interesting because Gmail was so good for a long time. I've experienced the same thing, Bob, in the last 2 or 3 months. I'm seeing more of these sneak through.
Yes.
And so just be careful, because, I don't know why that's happening, but you're right.
And if you catch it, report it as spam.
Right.
Eventually, it'll wind up not coming back to your inbox anymore.
Right. Google's now Google in hot water lawsuit alleges Pixel 6 Pro has overheating defect. Just
don't have that problem.
Yeah, if you do have a Pixel 6 Pro, then maybe have a look at the article.
I don't have the problem. I have the Pixel 6 Pro.
Oh, do you? And you
Yes.
have the problem? Yeah.
I don't have the problem.
All right.
So maybe there are some phones that have a problem. And, if you know an attorney that wants to take the case on a class action suit, go at it.
Go at it. There you go.
Let me know if you get that suit filed. I want to be on the list.
All right. Apple launches Apple Sports. Now, this is an interesting one. For those of you who have iPhones, Apple launches Apple Sports app with scores and betting odds. Now, we don't do betting, and I don't think any of us are really into this sort of thing, but sports, big deal. This is a big deal, and apparently it's a really good app. So if
my question is, can you use AI to help beat the odds?
The odds, I don't know.
I'm not going to try either.
Yeah, but it is a sports app. It is an Apple Sports app,
and it's actually going to be free.
Yeah. Google's Gemma, because Google doesn't want to give Gemini. What is
Gemma? Is a much smaller model of.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gemini, you have to pay for the Pro, and Gemma is a small version of.
Okay. This, just so people understand, this is Google's AI, right?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Yes, just another cord cutter. T-Mobile 5G home internet is now just $40 a month with qualifying wireless plans. So
last week we mentioned, or it might have been the week before, that the T-Mobile home internet, which has been $50, was going to be going to $60, and now they're coming up with a plan where you can get it for $40.
Yeah.
But there's other things you have to get at the same time.
Correct.
Yeah. Before we leave,
more than the $20 difference.
Yeah.
And remember, the T-Mobile service, you have to have line of sight for it to work properly. And I have a friend who loves it and it works great, but his neighbor can't get it because the house is situated differently.
And I have T-Mobile for my cell, but I also have a special device that gives me my service through Wi-Fi, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to use T-Mobile out here. I only have one part on the property where I have to stand in order to use it for the cell service.
Yeah, so the line of sight is important.
Yeah. Now this is an interesting article. Google TV exec says television should become the central hub of the home. And I thought, this makes a lot of sense. Where, everyone else is trying to make other devices to make them hubs, and that hasn't really worked out that well. Should the television not be the central hub of the home rather than trying to make other devices that would be hubs?
It
How
would be
many
nice.
people can watch the television at the same time that want to watch different things?
No, but I mean,
It would be nice if somebody rang the doorbell that I could see it on my TV, since I'm already watching the TV, instead
Right.
of having to worry about another device.
or why shouldn't your smart thermostat be on the television, right? Because then you can just work it all from instead of having all these other devices, the
Right.
home hub should just be on the television. And I thought that was an interesting idea. Anyway,
Time's
listen,
Ron,
go ahead.
Ron, it's time, and we got some comments.
Yeah,
You
let's
might
look at
wanna
our
go.
final comments before we go. Mike Ungerman, I have a tub of Descent that come from supplement bottles. I save them for possibility that I might douse my electronics somehow.
Yeah, that's those little packets that says "Do not swallow."
Okay. Murray says, I just replaced the battery in my iPhone with a third-party one. I cannot check the health of the battery because it's not a genuine Apple battery. Ooh, I'm not sure I'd do that, Murray. Anyway, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I don't see the answer to my question. Can free Copilot colorize black and white photos? No idea.
No, and I know I did some kind of a presentation on colorizing pictures,
did.
and I went and looked for it. I couldn't find it. I'll keep looking, Murray, but
Well, the answer
somewhere's
is
out there. I
try it.
did.
Try it and see what happens.
Right. But Huey did and we've actually played it on our Premiere service. We played it a few times. So if you just go to our channel and type in colorize photos, you should find the video that's on there.
I did it on my channel and I couldn't find it. So.
No, but it's there, and we've actually done it a
Yeah.
couple of times and played that. But it's pretty good. It works great, and it's a free service online. So there you go.
Yeah, because
All
I
right.
can even remember the picture I colorized.
Okay. Anyway, it's top of the hour. We got to run. I want to thank everyone for coming. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you being here. We do record this, so if you want to come back and play it again, any of the articles, and don't forget that if you want to follow us along on our Facebook page, just come up to this is our Facebook page. Just type in Facebook Tech for Senior,
Well,
and we can you can follow the articles as we put them on our Facebook page as we go through.
Yeah, and Ron, tomorrow is my Let's Talk AI. And if you're interested, I still haven't sent out the links. I will in probably an hour or two. So you can still send me a note at huey@huey.net, and I'll be able to send you the link as well if you want to join us.
Great. Super. Thanks. And so we do appreciate everyone coming and listening. Don't forget, we have our Monday show coming up this Monday. Lots of great stuff happening. And otherwise, we'll be back same time, same place next Thursday. Have a great week and enjoy spring is coming, I guess. It's great. All right. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
so
Bye, buddy.